What's up, everyone? Farmer Justin here from the G Farm in Larson, Wisconsin, where we raise grass-fed beef, pork, and chicken all on pasture. And whether you're buying through our meat CSA or online, we're happy to have you and happy to help you in the future. Today we're going to talk a little bit about chickens and our lack of egg production this time of year. So we've got about 100 laying hens and maybe 50 roosters in the bunch, and we have not had any eggs for sale. We do pre-sell some or have some in our meat subscription, and in that box those folks are able to get whatever's laid first in their hands and in their fridges. But we just haven't had any, and hardly even any for ourselves in our own refrigerator here at the farm. But I'm gonna try to improve that, and one of the things that I've been doing differently this year has been to hatch our own chicks. So we bought an incubator earlier this year, the spring, and we've been filling it up each and every 3 weeks after they hatch. We fill it up with another batch or group of 30, and we get usually about 20 or so. We lose a couple that just don't hatch out. But anyhow, we're trying to get our production up that by excuse me here a second. Get feed out to these birds. They're hungry. Kind of a late start, busy morning. But anyhow, we fill up with 30 eggs and get about 20 of them, and we bring 20 on to the farm every 2 and 3 weeks, I guess. Last year and every year prior, we'd bought our fall flock, buying 100 sexed birds and putting them into our brooder, and then they usually start by spring, which is a real strong push going into spring, because the springing chicken, the number of eggs that you get is predominantly done in the springtime. But I don't know. It's when you have a laying hen staggered, or when we were hatching them staggered, you'd think that our production would even out a little bit. So that's kind of one of the aims. But I've been considering having a second flock, and whether I keep that over at the neighbors or doubling up the size, or moving two of our chicken tractors around. If you don't know what this looks like, take you on a quick tour. So I keep a four-wheeler on the front of this structure. Open up the door, and inside here I did have a couple of hens and roosters that were out by the pigs that I'm trying to retrain. So these birds got picked up last night, and they're going to be in here for the day, maybe late tonight. I'll let them out, and then tomorrow they'll get to range around here. But I am a little skeptical. They're probably going to end up back by the pigs, which are right behind me back here, a little bit close. But trying to reduce the amount of eggs that we lose to nature and what they're doing, just laying sporadically. So here we got a hen laying on some eggs. We don't use rollaways. We just keep 2 nesting boxes inside of this tractor, and then we got roosts back here for all 150 birds. So we do have a floor that is mesh wire, that way I don't have to clean that out, and we move this ideally behind our cows, which are actually out over here. And if you see, it's going to be real hard to see, but back behind that even further is the neighbors. They're harvesting their soybeans in the field back here, which is not something that I'm a big fan of. But anyhow, we do move these chickens back behind the cattle on a pretty regular basis. That's why it's hooked up to the four-wheelers for easy movement. And then inside of here we have a switch and a battery, and that battery is hooked up to a little solar panel, and that's what keeps our automatic door opening in the morning and shutting at night, and that's just set up to open right at dawn and close at dusk. Then on days that I am moving them, I come out here and flip that switch. That way it doesn't open up in the morning and I can sleep in. And then I get out here and I move it to the next space, and try to do that every 6 or 10 days, depending on where they're at and how things are working about in my schedule and farm and such. But that is the gist of how we're trying to keep up with our egg production. I know that it is a hard time of the year to keep the eggs, and all farms are struggling this time of the year. Just the shortening days. I think that we lose about an hour and a half of daylight in September, and now here in October, it's not going to get any better. So I can tell absolutely in the time that I get into the house, I actually have time to pick up a book, which I don't always spend a lot of time in, but do pick up and try to read occasionally. And so hopefully we'll have some more chickens, more eggs for us and you in the future. And thank you so much for supporting and following along. And that's the whys of our lack of production this time of year. Less daylight. I should add too, they molt. This time of the year is stressful on the hens, and they will, like this, I don't know if you can see this gray one right here, right there. That one's molting, so it's losing its feathers, and that just means that they're drying up for a short period, and will start laying again when they regain their new feathery coat. So it's just a part of the cycle of what happens for them in the winter. It'll probably be another 2 or so months, and then these birds are going to go into the greenhouse, and I'll keep them in there for the duration of snowfall, right beside the pigs when I bring our sows into the same space, into that greenhouse. And then that way when they have their litters of piglets, then they're all they're staying warm together, out of the weather. And pigs and chickens are a pretty good combo together, because pigs are messy and they have feed that falls to the ground, and then the chickens come up and peck through it and clean up after them. So a little bit of the cleanup crew. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for following along, getting to know the farmer and the farm, and we hope to see you on the next one. Have a great day. Sitting out here pretending to eat raspberries. Not really pretending, I'm really going to do it. But what's so interesting about what's going on right here is there's not very many times or very often that I have any kind of big equipment running by the farm. And I said that these guys the neighbors are harvesting soybeans right now, and they are as close to the cows as they ever get. And I'm going to show you that here in a second, because it's fun. And it's just trying to show you the contrast and grazing. So grazing on a regular basis with our beef, our pigs, and just the idea of not keeping animals on the farm and having just a crop that you have to till and kill the soil, and then you have to harvest. Why can't you just have the cows do that work for themselves? So, just interesting, different kinds of concepts. Have a great day.